Hi there, this is Jerry on behalf of the junior class facilitators to address the school-wide learning outcome discussion that we are having and our topic of focus for the um, written and oral communication rubrics. So I wanted to start off by just showing you a screenshot here of current school-wide learning outcome rubric that we use here at KH. And in our examination, there were certainly some concerns that are um, another reason to pursue this work. And that's what we consider currently to be proficient according to this rubric at KH. So according to the current rubric that exists for school-wide, anything that lacks rigor and or depth at expected grade level is apparently considered a proficient level of work, critical and creative thinking level. Confusing communication, lacking clear focus, collaboration is inconsistent, little feedback. Um, what else we got here? Little synthesis of sources, and participation is minimal but professional. Those are all considered proficient levels here at KH, and we don't think that is appropriate. I don't think that's acceptable, especially for where we currently feel KH is and where we want to be in the future. So, regardless of trying to be a countywide or even greater, a countrywide leader in giving students opportunities to exercise and perfect and work on these soft skills, we need to just work on the rubric for the sake of we just need a better rubric in our school too. So, as I mentioned, we addressed the written and oral communication rubrics from New Tech Network. And one thing that we noticed specifically with the oral communication rubric was that there was a really good fit between the New Tech oral communication rubric and some of the things that the Talent 2025 report uh, stated as needs for graduates. So we think that obviously here at KH, we're already doing some things that other schools aren't that really help hit those points identified in the 2025 report. But also notice that the New Tech rubric supports that very well additionally. So certainly the oral communication rubric is something to consider incorporating as a school-wide rubric. Additionally, we looked at the written communication rubrics from New Tech Network and really studied the parallels between what's provided in that, what we're doing here at KH, and what the 2025 report is indicating as needs. And the New Tech rubrics are scaffold 8th and 12th grade for written communication. And there's a lot of good things there, and there is overlap with some of the things that we're already doing here. But there are a few points that came out from that discussion as well. So I wanted to share this document with everybody as well. And if you would like a link to this document when your group sits down to work through the communication rubrics, please let us know. So the Talent 2025 report, Jeff picked out some key quotes from that document here that we thought were important to focus on. And the first one is right here. The ability to adapt to change and be flexible in the workplace was cited as the second most important skill that employers are looking for in their candidates. And so we thought this is a critical area for us to consider weaving into our rubrics, both the school-wide learning outcome rubrics and just in the overall school culture. Now, while there isn't maybe an exact concept for how this might look, so proposed ideas would be to include this somehow in an entry document or in reflections that occur whether in the middle or the end of a project, but some sort of key component that addresses this issue stated on page 21 of the 2025 report is certainly of importance for us to consider, including moving forward in this discussion. Another key quote was the third most important type of ability mentioned was attitude of continuous improvement and ongoing growth and development. Additionally, ranked fourth was soft skills such as project management, which certainly we have some opportunities here at KH already instilled, leadership, collaboration, and basic communication skills. And they also added new college graduated employees lack communication skills, whether making presentations, writing reports or correspondence, or just in general conversation. They suggested that there be more opportunities for students in making presentations and in doing business writing and having communication classes being woven into undergraduate and graduate work as well. So in summary, the Talent 2025 report suggests that key qualities companies are looking for are problem solving, analytical analysis, resilience, and just general communication. And a point that part of our group made was that while these first two do not seem to be directly tied to communication rubric, um, they would suggest that problem solving and resilience are so important that they need to be woven into a rubric somewhere. Now, part of our group mentioned maybe that could go into the communication and collaboration rubrics. Another part of our group thought maybe that is more fitted for agency. We noticed some connections here too with some of the the Common Core math practices, as well as just the general um, um, next gen science practices and the overlap with Common Core. So there might be multiple opportunities here to work on these skills of resilience and communication and problem solving. The new tech rubrics, um, there's lots there. There's lots of good stuff there. So point two that were made in this document, they highlighted these important points as far as verbal communication is concerned, clear and original perspective, addressing opposing perspectives, the synthesis of facts, experience, and research. Communication is appropriate to the audience and purpose. And these are a lot of things that are already in the rubric that we have, but I'm not so sure we have them at the right level of expectation. So that's something we'll certainly need to be visited. You can see highlighted in orange right here is sophisticated and varied language, and I think that's of critical importance to consider as we critique our own communication rubric moving forward. Another idea that came through in the written communication rubric specifically, these points up here for the oral communication, these ones down here, the written, was controlling ideas. And so that's going to be an important piece that we make sure we hit well with whatever rubric we end up settling on at the end of this conversation. In summary, the new tech rubrics provide a skeleton of sound practices for communication, and they are some of the best examples of a conventional communication rubric. And that's great. That's great. But our group would argue that that's not enough. And you can see here that although these root tech rubrics are conventional, they're just that, conventional. And we would argue that there is nothing here that is going to separate us from other schools in the county, other new tech schools, or high tech high, or any of the other good work that's going on. So if we really, as a school, want to set a national standard, we argue that there needs to be a focus on these first two themes in the 2025 report of problem solving and resilience. If we can increase our rigor in those areas, increase our expectation, make it a consistent habit of our school culture, then we really think that we can lead learning at a grand level with that. So you can see there's a lot of points here that have been added in red. Rachel added some notes here too about how we might improve on these ideas of grit and resilience and problem solving. And one thing I wanted to point out specifically was the International Baccalaureate Oral Response activity here. And in summary, that is an opportunity where students are given a topic, they're given a very short amount of time to prepare for speaking on that topic, and then they're expected to speak, depending on grade level, from 8 to 15 minutes in an organized fashion, very fluently on that topic. And that might be an opportunity for us to build that resilience, that grit, that rigor in these extended response opportunities that students have. Not just orally, but probably writtenly too. Thinking to just the general SAT skill of being able to respond thoroughly to a topic and really give detail and supporting evidence for a stance. So there's a lot of good opportunities here as well. Additionally, just want to show you a quick few resources that Jeff linked in to consider. There's the Angela Duckworth Grit Scale, which provides several examples of assessing problem solving and resilience. You can see some cataloged bullet points here to just kind of give you an idea of what's included in that scale. Of course, there's the Growth Mindset Survey, which offers good examples for assessing resilience. There's something here called the Measurement of Flow, and this is a resource that gives students an opportunity to think about how they're engaged in flow during work time. And this is certainly something that I think probably connects really well with our collaboration norms anyways, and the classroom culture pieces that we've tried to build in. But maybe it's the structure, the scaffolding that we've been missing to really make that clear and concise for the students. So we linked in some of the some resources here to help you see what that might look like. Just quickly point out This table here kind of gives you an idea. If the students are challenged and the skill required to do an activity is high, then they're really going to flow through the activity very well, and it's going to create this. You're going to feel good at the end of the lesson about the work that your students turn in. It goes they're engaged on it, they're digging through it, they're solving the problems, and they're getting traction through. At the other end, if it's really high challenge, you haven't put them in a position to have the skills necessary to do well, then the anxiety level is going to be really high. On the flip side, I know I've had opportunities in my class, like in my students, where, um, you know, I thought the skill level was high, but the challenge wasn't really there, and so that created the sense of boredom. Or if you get, both, low skill, low challenge, then you got that apathy piece that we've all seen before. A couple other pieces to close out with here, resourced, referenced in the document by Jeff for us to consider. The self-talk scale, which offers several prompts on how to assess resilience, and then also the Bandura Guide to Self-Efficacy, which is another opportunity for students to self-assess, and even for us, for teachers, to formatively assess how our students are moving through activities, and whether or not they're truly reaching the level that we would expect from them. So thank you for watching this video. I apologize for it being lengthy, but there are a lot of good things to discuss in our group. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact either myself, Marcus, Jeff, or Rachel at any time. We'd be happy to share these resources with the next group that looks at written and oral communication. So, thank you very much.